Ridiculous.
Devil May Cry 3 set the conceptual standard for hack and slash titles, rewarding experiences, remarkable boss fights, and terrific level design that ties in with the environment from the original game. This inclines me to remove 5 sins. That being said, a great percentage of this game's fanbase is incapable of accepting criticism about something far from perfection. For those butthurt individuals, here is your sin counter. For the good people of YouTube, here is your counter. For everyone else, there's MasterCard.
You've heard of it, haven't you? The Legend of Sparda? When I was young, my father would tell me stories about it.
Narration. And specifically narration that we heard 2 times before in 2 preceding games. Also, this game went to its predecessor school of playing the pronoun game in the first sentence of narration, except it one-ups Devil May Cry 1 in regards to context. It could mean anything from the Legend of Sparda to some hobo's laundry in West Virginia.
Long ago, in ancient times, a demon rebelled against his own kind for the sake of the human race. With his sword, he shut the portal to the demonic realm and sealed the evil entities off from our human world. But since he was a demon himself, his power was also trapped on the other side.
Using the word also implies that this applies to other demons. And if that's the case, then how do any other demons we encounter in this game have any power at all? Unless Sparda's sword was the source of his power, but then why not just say that? This is strangely reminiscent of the constant contrast between devils and demons. Of course, if this is a translation issue, then I'm going to be in tears on the floor, because that means when Sparda instigated the sealing of the portal, he was standing on the wrong side of the door. Also, who tells their kids bedtime stories about demons?
It seemed as if they derived some sort of twisted pleasure from this brotherly fighting.
Woman, you have no right to call their fights twisted, considering the psychotic nature of your own mind. Why else did you try to kill Dante 3 times before you even knew he was a demon? Lady either has memories of a fight she never saw, or Dante remembers to the exact detail his first encounter with Vergil and shared these out-of-body experiences with Lady. Or Capcom is doing a fantastic job misleading you. All sinful.
So, you're looking for the Book of Ancient Legends. The tale of the demon warrior Sparda.
Since Sparda is such a legend, there are probably hundreds of books on him, and some with a subsection or chapter referencing him. Even if I were to assume this is Arkham's library, there is no way he could possibly know the names of all the books to make this assumption. Also, as large as this library is, there should be some people in here unless they're all in the human sexuality section.
That's not what I'm looking for. Leave me.
A demon that impregnates a woman who then bears twin sons. That's the story, isn't it?
Instead of directly offering Vergil his services, Arkham goes with the "this is a knowledge you are looking for" approach, which almost results in a headless tragedy. Also, Arkham must be proficient at playing the Encore game, or "that's not what I'm looking for" means he should keep referencing that which he is not looking for.
People inherently fear evil. However, occasionally a person may become seduced by evil.
What?
What are you getting at?
And Vergil is just as lost as I am.
Share with me the story of Sparda.
You just summarized it, you fruit. Cue a camera shot of something happening to a character when another character is not looking to show the audience that he's ultimately going to be a backstabbing jerkweed by the end of the story cliché. Vergil has said barely 2 lines in these cutscenes, which makes you wonder what promises were made to Arkham in exchange for being a henchman.
I will go to his place. I believe that I know where the item we seek is located.
Later it's revealed that Arkham is referring to Dante's half of the amulet. The problem with these set of lines is that the Devil May Cry manga explains that Vergil has knowledge of the amulet and its location, which makes this line of monologue, blatant exposition. If his sword is this long, there's no way it went into its sheath. I guess the cooler you are, the less your surroundings affect you, huh?
It begins.
Talking to yourself.
Sorry, not open for business yet. I haven't even picked a name for this joint, and I'm already getting calls.
Either way, they won't hear you because your handset is missing a coil cord. By the way, expect another phone call.
Is your name Dante, son of Sparda?
Where did you hear that?
From your brother.
Take that with a grain of salt, considering how much of a chatterbox Vergil is.
Invitation, huh?
Anything that Dante touches has its own unique application of physics. Pizza box falls here, but then is meters away from him in the next shot. Wait, it's that easy to kill one of these things? Then why does he even need the sword? Remember when technology was capable of taking abuse? Also, I believe it didn't work because you forgot to put a coin in the machine, mophead. Dante wrecks his own shop, then pins the blame on his guests. This is the second time of 3 games where Dante needs to order new front doors to his shop. There must have been 2 groups of demons with 2 different objectives sent after Dante. The first group was responsible for assassinating him, and the other worked as a demolitions team to destroy the infrastructure of his shop. Gesundheit. Well, that's a boatload of people dead. Judging from Lady's motorcycle, we can presume the timeline must be roughly late 21st century, seemingly during the 70s or 80s. Now it's your turn to meditate upon why there's no signs of intelligent life. A mountain-sized tower came out of the ground, people. At the very least, there should be blazing sirens, collective screams, and cacophonous sounds of citywide panic. I'm going to assume no one lives here, which actually works well for Dante, considering he's going to get no business anyway thanks to his broken telephone. The Devil May Cry manga, which I'm going to mention for the last time, explains the human world and the demon world were once the same unified place. This is what Arkham and the people that constructed Temen-ni-gru is trying and tried to achieve respectively. But instead of explaining that in the opening sequence, developers mislead and divert the player's focus towards a half-sibling demon contention, which we see throughout the game. Stop making me buy merchandise and or do extensive research, dammit. Also, players would have absolutely no knowledge as to why Arkham is helping Vergil. I mean, sure, later on Arkham's desire is to acquire the power of Sparda, but ultimately it isn't the power that he sought. Rather, his goal was a consolidation of the 2 worlds, and he needed Sparda's power to do it. How Vergil and Arkham's partnership came together at all is unmitigated BS. You failed, so you must pay with your life, cliché. Also, Vergil turns around and walks away just to dramatically kill the Hell Vanguard, since in later scenes he's still standing on top of the tower. Also, why is this demon working for Vergil? I mean, he's attacked at the entrance by hordes of other demons. I feel like some demons are being a little racist here. Instead of parkouring himself to the tower, Dante wanders through various buildings that may have a collapsed or blockaded exit due to the earthquake. Oh, you made a mistake, Capcom. Here, let me fix that for you. There.
Who knows? I'm not even sure myself.
Your mom's human and your dad's a demon. How complicated can that combination be? Clearly, when Dante and Vergil were born, guess who got all the brains? That's right, no one.
Take my soul and go forth.
Devil arms are supposed to be demonic souls that manifest a demon's true power. If that's true, then Sparda was a pretentious prick because after defeating the demon, they gave him a sword. He gloriously gave it his own name. The deuce? Lady must have her motorcycle custom built at Rex Racer's garage. Watch out for the homing demon robot in Devil May Cry 5. Go, biker lady, go!
Looks like we have an uninvited guest. A human. A woman.
There's no way he could have seen Lady from that altitude. Sure, the scene is amusing, but I can't help but think these demons were foolish enough to get within arm's length of her when all they really needed was medium range to swing their scythes. We're sure she's human, right? Cinema has brainwashed us into presuming that as long as the hero isn't caught in the dead center of the explosion, he or she will escape unharmed. I'm here to remedy these idiotic plot points. Lady is dead. Also, I'm going to add 5 sins every time we are forced to swallow Lady's impossible to survive BS. So we know from this scene that Arkham is Lady's father and that all she cares about is killing him. So why isn't that shoot first, ask questions later attitude being implemented here? Has a grapple on the custom-built rocket launcher but doesn't use it because skydiving. Yeah, no.
You sure know how to throw a party. No food, no drinks, And the only babe just left.
Actually, you got rejected and then... Oh. Now this is a boss fight.
Why do you refuse to gain power? The power of our father, Sparda.
Father? I don't have a father. I just don't like you, that's all.
If you're mildly curious as to why Dante hates Vergil or has an unpleasant distaste for his legacy, then just look it up. The game doesn't explain it here. If it does later, I'll remove the sin.
Why do you refuse to gain power?
Why are you concerned with gaining power?
Might controls everything. And without strength, you cannot protect anything.
Yes, I know, but what exactly are you trying to protect? I mean, ever since his debut, Vergil has done nothing except show substantial quantities of butt-kicking awesomeness and ruthless eminence. He's only shown an attachment to his half of the amulet, which he certainly doesn't need more power to protect. Say what you will about the reboot, but at least Vergil had a legit reason for doing what he does. Ha-ha! Shots fired! And then Dante died from hepatitis C. Being a son of Sparda means you can do anything as long as it looks cool. Dante was falling for about a minute before the Leviathan swallows him. Assuming he weighs approximately 95 kilograms or 210 pounds, including his weapons and neglecting the friction of air at its maximum, which is terminal velocity, he had to have been 20,000 meters or 65,600 feet in the air. So what does that mean? It means that Temen-ni-gru is 2¼ times the height of Mount Everest. By the way, he never even reaches the ground, which means it's even higher than that. This kind of gravity manipulation should be a style. How about gravity defier? What's he propelling himself off the tower for? The only way left is down, you fruit tart. Oh wait, gravity defier. Sorry, my mistake. Also, discount Superman. The Leviathan is a mythological figure that can be described as a colossal sea monster. So you're probably asking, why is this a sin? If you're going to take creatures from different mythologies and turn them into demons in your game, then don't pretend like they're the same creatures from those legends. All I'm saying is if this demon is capable of flight and was sealed away, why is there a 16th century ship in its stomach? Also, this demon needs more protein in its diet. The Leviathan has 3 hearts, one of which can fire laser beams. If I were to describe these characters with one word, it would be as simple as Arkham, books, Vergil, swords, Lady, guns, Dante, gravity.
The rage and agonies of the people. Those who were confined here, with their desires for evil being unfulfilled.
This guy talks about evil like it's something you can physically acquire. This is just as silly as the connotation implied when referencing darkness and light. For example, there are sources of light such as fire and electricity, but can you bring me a big old bag of darkness? This is Vergil's "what the hell was I thinking recruiting this guy" face.
It was all because Sparda slammed the door to the demon world in their faces.
Brazenly condemning Sparda's action in front of Vergil, you were just asking to die. Literally howling at the moon. If something that large fell at a 20-meter radius from your location, the tremors would induce tripping or falling in some way. It's almost as if the physics in this game work when it's convenient. There is no way that Arkham could have known when Dante would awaken after his battle with Vergil, if and when he would defeat Leviathan, and that Leviathan would die and land at the exact entrance to Temen-ni-gru for Dante to cut his way through the demon and land in plain view of this message.
If you're asking for a date, forget it. Because I make it a point not to go out with women who shoot me in the head.
Date a demon? I'm not that desperate.
Your list literally starts and ends with all the inmates at Arkham Asylum.
So, tell me, what's your name?
I don't have a name.
Okay, then what should I call you?
I don't care. Whatever you want.
This could backfire in so many different ways if Dante wasn't such a gentleman. This subterranean lake has its own moon. Useless weapons. Dante cruises through various parts of the tower, fights a plethora of enemies, collects items and places them in the appointed locations, defeats Neven, and Lady is still actively engaging demons. Also, just how much ammo does this woman have? Reloading your guns this way is like turning a broken doorknob with your feet. Utterly ridiculous and ultimately accomplishes nothing.
Why didn't you kill her? Perhaps because she's your daughter?
How do you know that? Geez, every follow-up scene these two share, one of them seems to have acquired an intricate detail behind the other's back without any explanation.
No wonder your attainment of power is incomplete.
What about you? You're an incomplete being as well. Both demon and human blood mingle in your veins.
Shut up.
90% of Vergil's comebacks required him to unsheath his sword. I've seen this katana in the sheath trick that causes enemies to fall down done so many times, it's now officially a cliché.
Now that the final door is open, I have no use for you.
Now that he is dead, you are talking to yourself. Again, floating blood.
Well, that was quick.
No, it wasn't. Looks like our energy crisis is over. Woohoo! But then, like an idiot, Dante uses the item to power a bridge, even though with Nevin's ability, he can glide. These lines of blood make no sense. It's obvious that Arkham survived Vergil's assault and made his way here so he could trick Lady into entering the sacrificial chamber. Even if he wants this to resemble a murder scene by presenting evidence that he survived until recently and tried to crawl away, his torso should be facing the ground. It almost looks like he moonwalked his way to termination.
I have a dysfunctional family too.
And what would you know about family? You're a demon.
Yeah, but Sparda was a demon and he had a family. Besides, whoever killed your father would just be doing you a massive favor. You would receive closure and avoid all those much-needed impromptu trips to the psychiatrist.
The odious one whose heart pumps the blood of Sparda. Though my sight is gone, I remember your scent. I shall hunt you down through eternity if I must, till I rid this earth of your foul smell.
But I won't do it yet because I'm late to my ballet class. Orb? No orb. Then back to orb. Was there ever really an orb?
Oops! I forgot to mention one teeny little item.
This voice. Breaking the fourth wall. How does Beowulf still retain a carcass following his demise after Vergil acquires his soul as devil arms? Every time Dante has acquired devil arms, the body of the demon in question vanishes post-soul retrieval. It's because Vergil needed to demonstrate his proficiency with the gauntlets. Otherwise, we would have to indulge ourselves to an exhibit where Vergil demonstrates his martial arts prowess on pockets of air.
So, my mother's amulet is the key that unlocks the door to the demon world. Good plan, Pop.
Originally, it was the key to the demon world, but was given to humans as a gift.
Sparda, the savior of the human world, thought it was a fantastic idea to give the key that opens the door to hell in the hands of the very same humans who were trying to turn Humanopolis into Demonville. Also, Dante would be amazing at sinning this game. Rocket is headed straight for Vergil, but turns about 45 degrees to avoid hitting him in the face. Have I been here before?
If any of you had died before getting here, our little plan would have gone to waste.
Remember how she could have gone splat when he tossed her off the tower? No? Okay.
Whoa!
Try me.
Lady must have plenty of severed nerves and tendons, but is standing on those borrowed pockets of air that Vergil isn't using. All three of them could have decapitated Arkham at this very moment, but the VA still has more lines, so yeah.
The spell is broken. What do you think will happen next?
Apparently, the plot only manages to move forward when one talks about it. It's kind of selfish that way. Lady has taken severe damage courtesy of the stab incision from her own weapon, which puts her in a greater need of a hospital bed, but game decides that Vergil derived this damage and forces him to fall down to the depths just so he can rise and then make a palatial entrance later. If this tower rises any higher, they will have to rename it to Temen-ni Space. Lady isn't dying of blood loss in this scene. Hey Dante, developers say you need more weapons to equal the amount that Vergil has, so here's Beowulf. That leaves you with 4 and Vergil with a grand total of 1. I'm just going to pretend Dante is in a space shuttle in this scene, sin it, and move on. Here are 5 more sins because physics. It's stupefying as to how drugs and alcohol can intoxicate Dante, but explosions are a breath of fresh air. Lady still hasn't died of blood loss or altitude sickness, or hit the ground because of the aforementioned 2. I'm adding a sin for these enemies because they use the no clipping cheat.
I'm pretty pissed at him too, you know. Now, get out of my way, or there'll be some consequences.
Fair enough. I wasn't planning on letting any demons live anyway.
This woman has fallen for every trick in the book, from lies to manipulation to obvious bluffing. When Dante asks Lady what he should call her and she says whatever he wants, I would have gone with gullible or imbecile. Dante does a backflip but ends up in the exact same spot he started. Also, why bother dodging it? That explosion from the motorcycle didn't affect you, so why would this? Yeah, let's let our quarrel destroy the whole library. It's not like there's anything valuable in here. Lady fires directly at Dante and the bullets go anywhere other than straight.
I'll take care of him.
Why do you care so much?
The density of this woman is a few hundred times greater than solid steel.
Trust me, I'll make things right for you. That's what my soul is telling me to do.
That's what the power of hormones compels me to do.
Dante. Please. Free my father.
From what? Living? Lady wears boots that are too many sizes too big. Arkham's GPS allowed him fantastic reception in the demon world, and it only took him a few minutes to reach Sparda's ultimate weapon without any resistance. To overcome Cerberus, Dante used great aerial combinations. To overwhelm Agni and Rudra, he mastered multi-directional combat. To subdue Neven, he implemented strategy. To vanquish Beowulf, he had solid timing and evasive skills, but to defeat the doppelganger, he just turned on the lights. Vergil must fulfill his quota of awesomeness off-camera as well. Also, now we know where Nero acquired his tardiness to walk to the final boss while calamity ensues.
It's like staring into a backed-up toilet.
Insulting Sparda's appearance is becoming kind of a trend for Dante, huh?
Dude, my father wasn't so hideous.
A little late to take it back now, Dante.
Can't you tell by looking at me?
It's like looking into a backed-up toilet. I know that Arkham can't control Sparda's demonic power, and that's the reason for his hideous form, but there's nothing satisfying about pounding a blob.
I've come to retrieve my power. You can't handle it.
I've come to make a magnificent entrance, but will get my butt kicked by the end of the show. Unable to use your devil trigger when Vergil shows up because lazy developers. I'll remove 2 sins for how awesome this cutscene is.
I have some unfinished business to take care of.
Indeed. It's called dying.
Goodbye, Father.
No!
And a few months after this, the murders began. I'm going to remove 10 sins for this mission alone.
I'm staying. This place was our father's home.
Darn these cut onions. Hashtag Vergil for Devil May Cry 5.
Maybe somewhere out there even a devil may cry when he loses a loved one.
Lady, you have no idea why Dante's in tears. Maybe Dante has lost his only rival for challenging combat. For all you know, Vergil could have given up his pursuit of power in favor of a culinary venture. As you speak, he could be flipping pancakes down in the catacombs.
What happened next?
Well, Devil May Cry 4 5 years later and a fat lot of BS for the next 10.
It'll be fun to fight with the Prince of Darkness. If my father did it, I should be able to do it too.
This is the equivalent of a child saying, if my father lifted 200 pounds, I should be able to do it too. Arise consequences.
You will not forget this devil's power.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Just wanted to let you know of a new feature I'm adding to this channel. Basically, I'll be putting up a select scene of the next game I'll be sinning in a video. What I want from you guys is to make up your own sin for the select scene and put a game that you'd like me to sin in the next video all in one nice comment bundle below. That way if I use your sin, I'll also send the game you requested as long as it's within my power to do so. That way we both win. Also be sure to avoid the use of profanity since I don't use it in any of my videos. Here's an example of what I'm looking for. Hope you have a great day, everyone. And just so you aren't totally irritated with the fact that I may have wasted your time, bloopers! The Demon World goes by 2 other aliases in the series, including Underworld... Underworld? The Demon World goes by 2 other aliases in the series, including Underworld... The Demon World goes by 2 other aliases in the series, including Underworld... Why? The demon worlds go...